watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. Yeah. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me.
Hey, it's your boy King coming to you with more content. I want to give a shout out to the Revolt Summit and Killer Mike. He definitely dropped a bombshell on the stage, and I'm showing this whole clip because it demonstrates how I can articulate what I'm trying to do. And it means so much to me that I see that someone like Killer Mike, you know, and others are in tune with what we need for change and are not consumed with political siding or revolting, but basically how can we do things for us? And that's what this is about. But I'm going to show this clip, and when I come back, we're going to talk about it because this is something that really touches me. So without further ado, Killer Mike.
Stop it. Stop. Everybody hush. Hush and listen. Because I'm about to give you the secret to what the fuck y'all are witnessing. What you niggas, N-E-G-U-S of the royal kind, and niggas, N-I-double-G-S, what y'all are seeing right now are free people arguing over who got the best master. Oh yeah. So, we're gonna go back to silent. Let's register this shit back down. We're gonna lock this back down. So, I'll tell you when America was great. 7 years after the ending of the Civil War.
Exactly what.
Oh, Candace, because you didn't give the comment, so you weren't prepared for that one. No, but that's not to jump on Candace, because again, I'm disagreeing with my friend. 7 years after the end of the Civil War, blacks within 7 to 15 years accumulated over 15 million acres of land. Hold on, before we get to clapping, because the niggas bought some shit. Black people were the only skilled labor in there. So if it was welding to be done, iron bending, cotton picking, it was black people. So instantly, your value became more. And Candace has a point. The point that she made about illegal immigration affecting you is it is going to affect you at some point. Why? If the Kegel Chicken Factory is hiring illegal immigrants at an undercut on the rate, it affects the black people who live there who should be demanding $20 an hour because they're being undercut. So when they get wiped out, they have to hire blacks, pay them, and unionize. So she's right on that. But hold the fuck on, I'm not finished. You have to remember that people who look like you immigrate too. So before you widely say, fuck them all, remember, America is always going to have a slave class. And if illegal immigrants or legal immigrants will not be the lowest paid workers, those in prison will be, and that always ends up looking like one of their sons. So it circles back around. So that's why people who are black, who are from two different plantations, got to get the fuck away from massa long enough to say, how are we going to burn down both their fucking houses? Now, this is my thought. I don't care if you destroy the Republican or Democratic Party, because at one time, blacks were Republicans. And you dominated those 7 years after the Civil War. You were Republicans. You had more blacks in the House and Senate than you do now. And you dominated your own economic communities. You did that as Republicans. As Democrats, you did the same in cities like Atlanta. You failed in other cities. But the most important thing is self-organizing. By the time we get to a candidate, we should have a list that says white man, White woman, these are our demands. You can meet them and get our vote, or now then we're going to stay home and crochet and make collard greens. But what you cannot do is continue to argue over who is the best master. I don't give a fuck if it's Trump, Obama, your mama, my mama. What the fuck do you have for me and my community? Now, if you do not, and if you stop playing, oh, I'm going to say the snazziest shit to each other on stage, I'm going to show that motherfucker this is going to be a quotable, and we close up the doors, and we simply say, how do we take the good of what you have, the good of what you have, the good of what you have and you have, how do we shape it into a 10-point agenda to present to every local, state, and national politician. If you cannot meet points on our agenda, we simply can't support you. I like you. I love your casinos, Mr. Trump. I like you, Bernie. I like maple syrup that comes from Vermont. But what do you have for us? Now, when talking about have black people done better, we keep doing better and we keep getting knocked down. We keep doing better and we keep doing knocked down. So I'm going to tell people, this is your homework. Fuck trying to convince you. I want you to go home tonight. I want you to listen to Thomas Sowell. I want you to listen to, hold on, I got you coming. You look, my nigga. All right. So,
right there.
I want you to listen to Walter E. Williams.
Yes.
I want you to listen to Antonio Moore. I want you to listen to Yvette Carnell. I want you to listen to the economic strategy of Elijah Muhammad and Marcus Garvey. I want you to listen to the political strategy of Stokely Carmichael. I need you to get on your study and prove yourself worthy shit, because I'm tired of arguing who got the best master. You are already free. Now, nigga, act like it. Do your research. Do your research and decide what's best for you, because what's best for us in Atlanta was a black man who said, okay, I'm the mayor now. You want to do business with Atlanta, meaning you want to have an opportunity zone? 29% of all government contracts had to be attached to black people. When he found out that there were no black architectural firms, he said, black people build driveways, we can build airport runways. So he gave the white architectural firms the rights to build the airport. The fucking Herman Russell Company laid the plane. So my thing is, as black people, how are we going to get in the room together, stop fighting over who's master, decide what our agenda is and how to leverage it? I don't care who agrees with Cap or JD or Jay-Z. I care that black people as a whole showed up to work that day. What if nobody would have showed up to work? What if everybody said, you know what, fuck it, my nigga? What if everybody on the same day would have done that? If everybody, every policeman, every beer salesman, every car parker, every NFL analyst would have not showed up. Until we ready to do that, we're not serious about being free.
That's real.
You just here to see a show and argue over who got the best master. Until we decide what is the real breaking point. If blacks are 15% of this nation, we should be 15% of Wall Street. We should be 15% of music execs, 15% of Hollywood execs, 15% of governors, 15% of mayors. And until you hit that 15%, you're failing, fucking failing, no matter who your master is. So pick a better master. I say kill your masters and get your own shit.
So, listening to Killer Mike, I know a lot of y'all felt that. You know, a lot of y'all understood what he was saying. You know, I know it's going to be some trollers that's going to try and change up what he was saying, you know, flip it, whatever. But we all know what he's saying. Our greatest power to me in economics is our skills and our labor. We built this country from the ground up. And I believe that is the strongest way that we should move. Push aside all our differences and we will see how things will turn out. Like, our greatest power is how we keep everything moving. You know, what would the economy be if there was no one at work? It wouldn't move. And y'all notice when the stock markets dropped, that made all the politicians panic, including ones who committed crimes who are, hey, seem to be walkage. We have something better than what we are told we have. Like, there's a reason why they don't teach money in school. You know, they'll teach you how to add and subtract, but they don't teach you how to manage your money in school. And if you want to learn how to manage your money, you have to go to college, right? You have to pay for that. And then you'll be in debt. So managing your money to go to college is not a good idea, because it's just another debt, a debt sucker, something to put you in the chokehold of economic slavery. And when I say things like that happen in our city in Buffalo, it definitely happens. And that's why I'm trying to do things like, you know, with my coalition, I'm trying to build it, you know, and I'm going to be honest, like, I'm not the person out here trying to front like, you know, I have something I don't. Like, I'm really coming from the ground up. So, you know, I'm not trying to start off like any other organization that comes out begging, you know, because that's wrong. Because how can I show you something if I'm not trying to prove it to you? So when I say, you know, I have to give you something in return, I just say support me, you know, show me that I'm able to function in the city of Buffalo with my peers and amongst my peers with gratuity, you know, with honor. And I understand that we have a lot of fakers out here. Like, they really like some haters. And I'm not shy to be nothing that I am. I am a king. And I don't care who don't like it. It is what it is. But that's why I do things like I sell photos. You know, $5 photos, I print them up instantly. When I tell you that I want you to support me, buy a photo for your family, or, you know, grab a face mask for your family, some maybe even some hand sanitizer, or maybe I can, you know, arrange for your yard to be cleaned or your house to be painted, or, you know, let me support my community. And this is how I am. And everybody should be like this, because if we continue to focus on what we can get from a company, and I say company because they all are organizations that take our money and forces us to qualify for our services back, is something that is really inhumane and insane. But we go for it because we don't know much else. But we do know much else. We have to change. We have to bring ourselves past what we see in front of us and be willing to risk everything to make a change. Like, everybody wants to go out here and march. And and it's a lot of white racist factions that want to go out here and kill to get in the name of America. My problem is this. We don't need to lift a finger to change America. And that is literal. We don't need to lift anything. All we had to do is sit still. When the earth stands still, everybody pays attention. And this is the thing that we got to understand. When we want change, we have to demand it. We can't ask for it, because what is a bully to give you something that he is not willing to give you? What is that? What interest is that? Let's be logical. No person in their right mind who are in control and egotistical and authoritarian will never give up their power to people who ask. But just things simple as putting the Black Lives Matter sign on the ground, fear, it shows his fear in us. His attacks on Kaepernick shows his fear in us. His attacks on anything that has anything to do with black culture shows his fear, but yet the KKK and the neo-Nazis are free to roam. All I'm saying is this. If you are tired, then let's all be tired together. I support anybody who support me. And even if I can't do anything in the financial sense, I have ways to figure it out to do things in the spiritual sense. And I mean, anybody who know me know what that means. Like, I am a very helpful person. And what Killer Mike talked about the things he spoke about, the economics, the slave house, and things like that, that is true. But your slave house might be the city hall or the mayor's building or the RAF building. Your slave house might be Burger King, McDonald's. Like, let's be real. We are humans. Are we really going to be pushing burgers and flipping pancakes all day trying to make a living? Or are we going to actually do our best and raise the economic wealth and raise the disparities in our communities and give contracts to Black people who are willing to help change our communities and show that we are willing to wash out all the corruption and all the disrespect and all the hatred that we see instead of stoking it based on votes? We got to understand that it is our turn, and this is really our turn. So we got to focus on what we got to do next. And like he said, bring up we should have at least 10 points, y'all. At least 10 marking points of what we need. And we don't need corruption. I don't understand why the fuck, excuse my language, but we got people in our city who pays to put their names, or however they do it, they got their names on streets. They get contracts, use their places for business that are meant for worship and rumored to be used as a home. Like, these are things that we pay into, and we have to qualify to get our money back from these same people. Understand that our roads in Buffalo is destroyed. Okay, let's just be honest. Anybody from down south will come down here and tell you never to drive your cars on these streets. And if you get a car from Buffalo, never to drive it outside of Buffalo, because it would be a raggedy ass goddamn car, and it would be no point in buying it. It is not a secret that our lands are contaminated. It's not a secret that our rodents are running amok. It's not a secret that murders and mysterious murders are still happening. Police brutality is still happening. So in order for us to really get a change, we got to show these people that they change means actual change, money. You're going to give us what we want, or we will not do. Our services are not for free or for undercut pay. We are not willing to accept slave wage. The cost of living is high, and our wages is not even half of that. So let's fix that, focus on that, y'all. This is just me, you know what I'm saying, giving y'all my insight on that inspirational video, and basically how it relates to me, like how I'm trying to do things. That's why I feel like we, the people, especially the melanated, should stand very strong and stay away from fear and understand that this economy does not move without you. I love y'all. Stay safe. Peace.
Watch me.